Imagine growing up in a world where everything looks perfect. Luxury cars, designer clothes, beautiful homes overlooking Los Angeles, a group of friends who seem to have it all. Now imagine discovering that someone is watching all of you. Someone who knows your secrets. Someone who enjoys turning fear into a game. And the worst part? You can't even trust the person telling you the story. That's exactly what makes the Shards so fascinating. At first glance, it looks like another stylish teen mystery, but underneath the glamorous surface is a psychological puzzle about identity, obsession, memory, and paranoia. Today's video isn't just about what happens in the first 2 episodes. We're going to explore what the show is really saying, why almost every character seems to be hiding something, and why the biggest mystery may not be the serial killer at all. So dim the lights, because this story is far darker than it first appears. The series drops us into Los Angeles in the early 1980s, a city presented as polished, glamorous, and almost dreamlike. Everything feels expensive, carefully curated, and effortlessly cool. But that polished image is deceptive. The adults are emotionally absent, leaving teenagers to navigate relationships and identity largely on their own. Success, popularity, and image seem to matter more than honesty. That contrast becomes one of the show's central ideas. When everyone is performing a version of themselves, how do you know what's real? At the center of the story is Bret, an ambitious high school senior who dreams of becoming a writer. He presents himself as observant, thoughtful, and detached, almost like someone documenting the lives around him instead of fully participating in them. Yet, the more time we spend with him, the more we realize his perspective isn't entirely reliable. He notices every glance, every conversation, every small inconsistency, but those observations are filtered through his own fears, desires, and insecurities. That makes Bret both our guide and our biggest question mark. Can we trust what he sees? Or are we watching events shaped by his imagination as much as reality? Bret belongs to an elite group of wealthy students whose lives appear enviable from the outside. They spend their time at lavish parties, drive expensive cars, and move through Los Angeles as though nothing could ever touch them. But beneath that confidence lie hidden emotions, unspoken attractions, and growing resentment. Each friendship feels genuine one moment and fragile the next. The show repeatedly suggests that the greatest danger isn't always outside the group, it may already exist within it. Every mystery needs a catalyst. For the Shards, that catalyst arrives in the form of Robert Mallory. Robert is charismatic, confident, and impossible to read. Almost immediately, Bret becomes fixated on him. Not simply because Robert is the new student, but because Bret believes something about him doesn't add up. A forgotten encounter, a conflicting memory, small details that most people would ignore. To Bret, those details become evidence that Robert is hiding something much larger. Whether Bret is uncovering the truth or constructing his own conspiracy becomes one of the series' most intriguing questions. While Bret's personal suspicions grow, another threat hangs over the city. A serial killer known only by a chilling nickname has become the subject of growing fear throughout Los Angeles. Rather than focusing solely on violence, the series emphasizes anticipation. People become nervous, rumors spread. Every unanswered phone call feels suspicious. Every unfamiliar face becomes unsettling. Fear spreads long before the audience understands who or what they should actually fear. That's an effective storytelling choice. Sometimes the unknown is far more frightening than anything shown directly. One of the smartest creative decisions in the Shards is placing viewers inside Bret's perspective. Normally, a mystery invites us to gather facts. Here, every fact comes through someone whose emotions are deeply involved. That changes everything. When Bret notices Robert acting strangely, is Robert actually behaving suspiciously? Or is Bret projecting his own anxiety? The series never rushes to answer. Instead, it encourages viewers to question every assumption. That's what separates the Shards from a typical murder mystery. It's less interested in asking who committed the crime. It's more interested in asking how much can we trust the person telling us the story. Almost everyone in this world is performing. Some characters hide who they love. Others hide their ambitions. Some hide painful family lives behind wealth and confidence. And some may be hiding something much darker. The show's recurring message is simple. People rarely reveal their true selves willingly. The masks they wear are often more interesting than the faces beneath them. The opening episodes avoid revealing too much too quickly. Instead of rushing into answers, they create atmosphere. Questions pile up. Who is Robert really? Why does Bret become obsessed with him so quickly? Is Bret seeing genuine warning signs, or is he allowing fear to distort reality? And how does the growing threat outside their social circle connect to the emotional tension inside it? Every new question makes the audience lean forward. That's exactly what a psychological thriller should do. But here's where things become even more unsettling. As Bret's suspicions intensify, the line between instinct and obsession begins to disappear. No one seems entirely innocent. Every conversation carries hidden meaning. And just when it feels like the pieces might start fitting together, the mystery grows even larger.
At first, Robert Mallory seems like nothing more than the mysterious new student. He's confident, charming, and effortlessly fits into Bret's circle of wealthy friends. But Bret can't shake the feeling that something is wrong. It all begins with a small inconsistency. Bret remembers seeing Robert months earlier at a screening of The Shining, yet when he brings it up, Robert calmly denies ever being there. To everyone else, it's an insignificant detail, but to Bret, it's proof that Robert is hiding something. And that's where the show cleverly starts playing with our minds. Is Robert actually lying, or is Bret becoming obsessed with a memory that isn't as reliable as he believes? The more Bret watches Robert, the more suspicious every move becomes. Robert seems to know exactly how to get under people's skin. He charms Bret's closest friends, effortlessly earns their trust, and slowly becomes the center of attention. For Bret, this isn't just jealousy, it's fear. Fear that someone has entered his carefully controlled world with hidden intentions. But what happens next changes everything. While Bret is busy investigating Robert, a terrifying presence begins closing in on the group. The city is already living under the shadow of a brutal serial killer known as the Trawler. Until now, the murders have felt distant, something happening somewhere else. Suddenly, they don't feel distant anymore. The danger starts creeping closer to Bret's own circle, turning what once seemed like urban legends into a terrifying reality. The series also begins peeling back Bret's personal struggles. Beneath his calm exterior is someone constantly hiding pieces of himself. He's trying to maintain the perfect image expected by his privileged world, while wrestling with desires and emotions he feels forced to suppress. That emotional conflict becomes just as important as the murder mystery itself. Meanwhile, Robert grows even more intriguing. Sometimes he appears friendly and genuine, other times his cryptic comments and unreadable expressions make him feel almost threatening. The genius of these early episodes is that they never give us enough information to make a clear judgment. Every clue raises another question, every answer creates a new mystery, and Bret's growing obsession starts affecting everything he sees. No one expected what happens next. By the end of these opening episodes, the mystery is no longer just about catching a killer, it's about discovering whether Bret is uncovering the truth or slowly losing his grip on reality. And that's exactly what makes the Shards so addictive, because once doubt enters the story, every character becomes a suspect, and every moment feels loaded with hidden meaning. By this point, the Shards stops feeling like a simple murder mystery and starts becoming a psychological game. Every time Bret believes he's getting closer to the truth, the story pulls the rug out from under him. Robert remains the biggest mystery. On one hand, he appears calm, intelligent, and surprisingly likable. On the other, his mysterious past, strange behavior, and perfectly timed appearances make him impossible to ignore. But here's the clever part. The show never gives us solid proof that Robert is guilty. Instead, it forces us to see him through Bret's increasingly paranoid perspective. As viewers, we begin questioning everything. Is Robert manipulating Bret? Or is Bret unconsciously turning Robert into the villain because he's afraid of what Robert represents? The series quietly hints that the real conflict isn't just between Bret and Robert, it's inside Bret himself. He's struggling with identity, desire, jealousy, and the fear of losing control. Those emotions blur the line between reality and imagination, making every clue feel unreliable. Meanwhile, the shadow of the Trawler grows even darker. The killer isn't just attacking victims, he's attacking the sense of safety everyone once believed they had. No one knows who's next. No one knows who can be trusted. And that's exactly what makes these episodes so effective. The biggest twist isn't a shocking reveal. It's realizing that the mystery is designed to make both Bret and the audience doubt every assumption. Just when you think you figured it out, the story reminds you that appearances can be dangerously misleading, and that uncertainty becomes the show's greatest weapon. By the end of the first 2 episodes, the Shards leaves us with far more questions than answers, and that's completely intentional. Robert Mallory remains the prime suspect in Bret's eyes,
But the show never confirms whether he's actually hiding a deadly secret. Instead, it encourages us to question Bret's version of events, just as Robert's mysterious behavior. That's what makes this story different from a typical serial killer thriller. The real mystery isn't just who is the trawler, it's can we trust the person telling us the story? The first 2 episodes also reveal the series' deeper themes. Behind the designer clothes, luxury homes, and glamorous parties are teenagers trapped by fear, loneliness, and the pressure to maintain perfect images. Every character is hiding something, and every secret pushes them closer to disaster. Ryan Murphy combines psychological suspense with Bret Easton Ellis's dark, unsettling world to create a mystery where paranoia becomes just as dangerous as the killer himself. If these opening episodes are any indication, The Shards isn't interested in easy answers. It's a slow-burning psychological thriller that asks viewers to question every clue, every memory, and every character. And honestly, that's what makes it so compelling. So what do you think? Is Robert Mallory truly hiding something, or is Bret creating a monster inside his own mind? Share your theories in the comments below. I'd love to hear them.